So you find that you're making a lot of mistakes when you're playing. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over not only why it's actually okay and sometimes beneficial to be making mistakes, but I'm also going to go over how you can deal with them. Hey, what's up guys? It's Dave from SimplySoccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. And on this channel, we release daily soccer tips, technique, and training videos all designed to help you do that. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss new videos or live streams that we do. So a couple of days ago, I released a video called 5 mistakes that soccer players make, or something along those lines. And there was something I forgot to mention in that video that's really important, so I want to kind of discuss it with you here. First and foremost, just about that video was not intended to make you feel bad. That video was not to bring you down. The only reason I made that video is to give you some clarification on mistakes that I've observed in other players and myself, because I make a lot of them as well, so that you could become aware of them and then hopefully work on those mistakes if you were making them to become better. The intention was not to bring anyone down. The intention was not to make you feel bad. It was just to bring about some awareness, because the first step towards improving yourself really in any area is being aware of where you need work. So just to kind of clarify that, it was not intended to bring anyone down or be like, hi, you're making mistakes in that area. It was just intended to kind of show you some of the things I think are common mistakes so that you could analyze your game and go, am I making those? And if you are, to then work on it from there. But one thing I forgot to mention in the video, and something I regret not mentioning, is that mistakes are actually okay. In fact, they can be very beneficial. So I'm going to explain what I mean by this, and I'm also going to explain how I deal with mistakes and how you can start doing the same. Now, before I go over that, just recognize I'm not telling you to deliberately make mistakes. I'm essentially going to be telling you that it's okay to make mistakes, okay? So a lot of players contact me with a similar story or a similar question or a similar story where they're kind of telling me that they're really fearful of taking risks in matches, or they're fearful of doing things that they know they can do in practice, or they know that they have the ability to do because they've practiced it, but they're just too scared to do it because they're afraid of making a mistake. They're afraid of people getting angry at them. They're afraid of their friends making fun of them, or their coach getting mad at them, or their parents or something. And that's why I wanted to make this and kind of clarify really how you can overcome mistakes and what kind of mindset you should have towards mistakes. Because when you boil it down, mistakes are necessary to succeed. You can't do it without mistakes. If you are afraid of making mistakes, one of two things usually happens. Either one, you make a mistake and you get so down on yourself that it affects you in a negative way, it affects your performance, it might even affect other areas of your life. Or two, you become so fearful that you stop even taking action, which is again something that you don't want. For example, if you make a mistake in a match, you know, it's no good to get down on yourself and beat yourself up. Of course, you don't want to deliberately keep making that mistake, but the way you learn from your mistakes is then to look at that situation and go, okay, I keep making the same mistake. How do I stop making that mistake? What can I do? Practice, research, in order to prevent myself from making that mistake in the future and to get better at this area. So change your thinking about mistakes. Don't see them as a negative thing, because they're not. And if you keep viewing them as a negative thing, it's going to really stunt your growth and limit your potential. Or not limit your potential, but limit how much of that potential you tap into, because you will always hold back if you're fearful of making mistakes. If you see mistakes as a negative thing, it's going to be very difficult for you to become an impact or standout player, because you won't be taking those risks that you need to take in matches in order to become that player. So here's how I generally deal with mistakes that I make. First and foremost, in the moment, I just brush it off. I'm at a point where I don't even think about it. I might have a millisecond or second where I kind of like roll my eyes or put my head up, but then I get right back to it. Next, I analyze my mistakes after the match. I like to analyze all my matches. If I have footage, that's ideal. If I don't have footage, I'll just use my memory to go over what went well and what didn't. And then I will recognize and identify my mistakes and go, okay, that's something I need to keep in mind for next time so I don't make the same mistake. Or I'll think of something like, how can I train or practice during the week so I make less of this mistake in matches in the future. After I've analyzed it, I will then put it into practice, and after that, I will forget about the mistakes I made in that game. Once I've analyzed it and I've said, okay, this is what I need to practice, I let them go. I take them out of my head and don't think about them anymore, because that's only going to bring me down. And one of the reasons mistakes probably get you so sad or depressed or feeling hopeless, like you're never going to improve, is because you're thinking about them too much. You know, identify them, analyze them, discover how you're going to improve them, and then let them go. Okay, so then once you've identified your mistakes, actively look to work on those areas. All right, guys, so I know this is a bit of a different video, but I really wanted to mention this because I think it's so important that you recognize that mistakes are part of the game and a part of your growth. And one of the best ways you're going to grow in this sport is to not get mad at your mistakes, but to recognize them and improve upon them. That's how you're going to really improve, because your mistakes will clarify where you need work, and then you can actively improve on those areas. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this is a longer video, and you guys have been getting on my back for that, but I think this is a very important idea, okay? So thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, how do you deal with mistakes yourself? Are you someone who lets them get to you? If you are, make sure you take the advice to heart from this video. If you have any other ways that you guys like to deal with mistakes that works for you, please put it in the comments so that I can take a look at it and other players can see it and try it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember to share this video with a teammate or friend, or teammate and friend if you want. Like it as well, and sub if you're new. I will have 2 videos come across the screen that you can continue to watch, or you can watch to continue learning, and we will have another video out at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Once again, this is Simply Soccer, where we're working to improve your game and help you stand out on the pitch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.